Mike, you talk about this team being at a crossroads. What has to happen to go the right direction? Is it offense, defense, execution?
Well, it's everything. And the point that I was trying to make and that I try to tell them is that you have to be playing your best football late in the season. And that's just what happens in the National Football League. There's all this jockeying for position. Some teams that, every year end up, with a really good record, and there's some other teams that kind of toil around and they're kind of figured it out, but then they continue to improve. There's some teams that kind of go in the other direction. And we've always gone in the direction of playing our best football late and improving, and we have to find ways to do that. And so there is no one answer. It's not about one particular player. It's not about one particular side of the football. All three phases, and obviously coaching, we all have to be better. Well, I think we'll look at everything. We only have so many guys at this point in time, with a lot of guys on injured reserve. We have guys that probably may or may not come back this week. We'll see where we are with Racy and Josh Thompson. Those guys could potentially be back. Their time is up. And Racy's been working hard to try to get back. So we'll see where those guys are this week and what we can do with them.
But you plugged in Dennis when Taylor went down and haven't done anything else there. What's
I would say after yesterday there wasn't a solution in any phase. So I wouldn't say that we had any solutions in any phase. Speaking specifically for Dennis, there are you can go through them. There's plays where I think it's he's doing his job, and then there's plays where we know we can't get beat inside. We're chipping for him, and you can't get beat inside. And critical error, 3rd and 1. We've had guys jump off sides before, but certainly in the red zone things are magnified. I think on one of the sacks that he gave up, had Josh Sweat at 10 or 11 yards at the top of the pocket. To me, anybody that's blocking Josh Sweat, if they block him at 10 yards at the top of the pocket, we're going to have to be able to step up. And guess what? The quarterback couldn't step up. So, those are things that. And then there were some other plays that aren't very good. That we had a backside cutoff on a 4-eye where he butted him under the chin. His hands were inside, and he pancaked him. But there's when you play that position, there's some things that are glaring when you get beat. So he's going to work hard. The Ravens going to have a chance to compete. But that's who we got on the roster right now. Because that's our job. That's what we've always done. I'm confident in this staff. I'm confident in the players. We'll make sure that we figure out ways to win a football game.
You laid out some of the keys to running.
We need to look at rewarding underthrows, which is something we've seen, I think, a lot of the last couple of years.
Well, there's been conversation about it, and again, they will if you get back into your in phase. And I've noticed that they let some contact go if guys are in phase, and they turn around and they're maybe pushing the guy. So again, I think the only way to properly and consistently officiate it, this is just me talking, is that you have a standard, and the standard is if you're not playing the ball, that your contact is probably going to be penalized if the receiver does their job and makes an attempt to come back. I think it's just so that it's consistent. Everybody sees it and everybody says, yep. And unfortunately, that's DPI. Defender not playing the football, and a receiver going back and getting 2 arms across the shoulder pads of the defensive player. So just so that there's not any egregious mistakes.
What did you see from him kind of in those first exposure?
Well, I know that he worked extremely hard, with Rob to be ready. Had some, mistakes where, again, it's going fast and it's his first game action and with the game plan and things like that. So, thought he did okay. I thought there was obviously some plays and alignments and execution that he'd like to have back, and I think he'll be better the more exposure he gets.
With the lack of space that has been there for Derek over the last 4 weeks, do you think your offense needs a shift in identity, and is that possible to do this late into the season?
Yeah, I think you have to be careful. You know, what identity would we want to go with is, I guess, the question. You know, we have to understand what we think wins in this league, and I'm going to remind you that it's taking care of the football, it's running the football, and it's being efficient when you pass it. And those are the three things for the past 25 years in this league that has won. And so that's what I want our identity to be, because I know that that's what wins. And when we've won, we've done those things. And so maybe we could have run the ball a little better. We didn't turn it over. Neither did they. So we didn't do enough defensively. We clearly didn't affect their quarterback. We had a 90-some rating. He had 130. So that's what I stand by. That's what I coach and teach every day. And that's what I'm trying to get our team to do.